Okay, folks, I've spoken about how much I was upset about the prices of the Galaxy S20 line and everything like that, but I am a geek at heart, and so I went out and I got myself a Galaxy S20 Ultra today, and I've decided that I'm going to do things a little differently on the channel when it comes to smartphones from here on out. Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my SIM card from the phone that I was using, this iPhone 11, into this Galaxy S20 Ultra. I'm going to use the Galaxy S20 Ultra as my main phone for 2 weeks. And along that time, I'll give you updates of how I feel about it, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. And for the 2 weeks, I won't even touch the iPhone. Here's part of why I want to do this. Doing tech reviews is really only fun when the tech that you're reviewing might be the thing that you like more than the tech that you already have. So I need to get back to approaching tech reviews as if the tech that I get is going to be the replacement for the thing that I already have. I'm going to do my best to keep an open mind, to use this phone for the 2 weeks that I promised that I would use it. And then at the end, I will report to you. Not only will I review this phone for you, I will report to you whether or not I decided it was worth keeping. Now, some of you might be cynical out there and thinking like, oh, well, it's not going to be worth keeping. He doesn't want to keep it. He thinks it's too expensive. Well, it is too expensive. It is too expensive. And I can't really recommend that anybody out there go out and buy this phone. But I figured I'd buy like the biggest, bestest Samsung Galaxy S20 whatever there was so that I could test the best that there was. Now, I honestly think that the iPhone 11 competes very well with this phone. Yeah, I do. You go through the specs, and yes, there are differences. Yes, this is an LCD screen. Yes, this screen is 830 pixels per inch or something like that. This screen is Quad HD or 1080p if you want to use 120 hertz. I'm just going to really go through and sort of look at the specs of both of them and see which one has the right kind of combination of specs, which one is folds itself into my life better. I was using the LG G8X for a while, but unfortunately the screen broke and I had to send it back. It's a long story. I loved that phone. I loved it. I thought it was one of the best ideas in dual screen folding phones, whatever, that there was. And I really like that phone. I'm looking forward to checking out the LG V60 later on this year. But if I'm going to review phones, I'm going to have to put them head to head with the phone that I've chosen to use already. And I chose this. I went out and bought this iPhone 11, 256 gigabytes. I went out and paid my own money for this Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. And I'm going to do as honest a job as I possibly can on giving you the ups and downs of what I'm going to experience here. Now, for one thing, I can already tell, like this camera bump, it weighs the phone down. It like makes the phone feel heavy going that way. I haven't set it up at all, so still the stock screen, everything like that. I did set up a face unlock. It seems to be working. That was one thing that was missing on the LG that I really wanted. I hate the icons. I can change that easily. I hate the fact that it comes with Verizon stuff loaded in there. I hate that it comes with Netflix. I mean, I'd get Netflix and Disney already, but I want to choose to get Netflix and Disney. It's got its own messaging app. Camera, of course, I'll run through the camera. I'll give you camera comparisons throughout the 2 weeks so that you can get a better idea of whether or not the Samsung, it's not really about operating systems here. It's not about whether or not iOS is better than Android, because iOS and Android are different. So different, in fact, that there's no reason to really talk about how different iOS and Android are. What I really want to do is see how this fits into my life. Am I familiar with Samsung phones? Yes. Have I stuck with Samsung phones in the past? Sometimes. The Note phones have been some of my favorite phones ever in life. And the Note 8 and the Note 9 were both my favorite phones of their respective years. And the Note 7 was my favorite phone of that year, even though it exploded and I had to give it back. I loved the Note phones. I wasn't as big a fan of the Note 10, but I loved the Note phones. I'm going to give this an honest opinion. Now, here's what I need from you. Down in the comments below, I need you to tell me, what would you want me to compare between these two? What would you want me to be looking at? What would you want to see in a comparison in a video? What do you want me to do with these two phones. I'm going to do everything from compare the build quality feel to the screen quality to the call quality to the how fast the Wi-Fi is. I don't know. And I've got my iPhone set up in such a way that I've got everything on one page, and then I've got this page open. And I like that. And I know that I can do that with this. So one problem that I've run into with Android phones in the past is that there's too many options. There's, if I want to have widgets, then suddenly my screens are too cluttered with widgets. What are the best ways that people have set up Android phones? We've got the iPhone 11 versus the Samsung Galaxy S20. So far, I'm really impressed with the build quality on this, as I usually am. One thing that I'm really happy about is that the edges of the screen are not rolled off, so that I don't have as many false touches with my hands as I did with previous Samsung devices. Samsung is, they're making their stuff more expensive, but they're also refining the design to maybe a place where it won't be as frustrating for me to use. Now, those are the things that make me want to go away from an Android phone and back to an iPhone, because there's just not as many things that frustrate me about the iPhone. There's no Bixby button on this phone, so that's good. But the volume and the power are already over here, so I don't like that. I got used to the iPhone camera hump. I don't know if I'm gonna get used to this. This is terrible. It's really terrible. I'm going to test out the 100 times zoom because I've already made some statements about how I feel about that. In what I've seen, it hasn't looked very good. I've heard that there are autofocus problems with this phone that a lot of reviewers haven't been talking about, so I'm going to definitely test the autofocus problems. I'm going to do everything that I can to make this the perfect phone for me. And it's only going to be the little things that bother me that are going to change my opinion. I'm deadly serious here. I want to change the way that I talk about smartphones here on the channel. I want to compare the iPhone 11 and my experience using that with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. I'm going to be looking at value, whether or not this is worth the $1,400 that I paid for it. When this one was with 256 gigabytes, this was $850. $850 versus $1,400. Is there $550 worth of price difference of better usage, et cetera, et cetera? That's what I'm going to try and find out. I really do need to know down in the comments below what you guys would like to see a comparison of and how you would like me to go about doing those comparisons. This is a new way for me to think about Painfully Honest Tech. I want to get back to the place where every time I bought a new phone, I was dreaming that it would be the perfect phone for me, or better than the one that I was using. Over the long term, even incremental updates are a big deal on phones. So I'm taking my SIM card, I'm putting it in the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and I am going to use this phone exclusively for 2 weeks. And I will be back along the way with reports of how well it works for me compared to the iPhone. Do I miss the iPhone? What do I miss about the iPhone? Do I not miss the iPhone? All that stuff, I'm going to cover it in the discussion. So again, hit me in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you bell notify yourself so you know when new videos are coming out. And if you want to be a member of the channel, there's a membership button down there too with all kinds of fun perks and that kind of thing. At any rate, thank you so much again for being here. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. Until the next time, I'm out.